Let's look at Math 24.2, page 509 and 510. This page is called Count Back by Tens. Here we have a hundreds chart to help us out as we work on this page. Now, it's different than what we were doing on our page yesterday, because our page yesterday was two groups of tens, something like 50 minus 20, where both of those numbers, they're two-digit numbers, but they end with a 0. Today, you're going to see a two-digit number subtracting a two-digit number, but this time the first one does not end with a 0. So this is why a hundreds chart is helpful. Let's take a look together. It says, how can you count back by tens to find this difference? 83 minus 40 is equal to, well, 83 ends with a 3 in its one place value. So we're going to go to our threes column and we look down until we find 83. And then we need to count back 40. Well, we're not going to just count back 40 squares. That's going to take too long. But we know that 40 is the same as 4 groups of tens. So if we count up, that actually moves towards lesser numbers on our hundreds chart. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to count up towards lesser numbers for 4 groups of tens. So we start here on 83, and we're going to count up 4 times for 4 groups of tens. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Where did we land? 43. So 83 minus 40 is equal to 43. Okay, so that's our first example. We're going to do this whole page all together, okay? So you have a lot of practice opportunities with me before I have you try it on your own. Let's continue. It says, use the 100 chart to subtract, count back by tens. What's important to know if we count back by tens, that we move up the hundreds chart. As you move up the hundreds chart, it moves towards lesser numbers. Okay, let's take a look. 53 minus 30. 53 ends with a 3, so we'll go to our 3 column and scoot down until we find 53. Here it is. Now we need to subtract 30. 30 is the same as 3 groups of 10. So we're going to move up 3 times. So let's go to 53 and move up 3 times for 3 groups of tens. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3. Where do you land? You should land on 23. And you'll see 53 minus 30 equals 23. Let's continue. I'm going to erase each time so we don't get confused by the markings on the hundreds chart. Okay, number 2. 73 minus 20. 73 ends with a 3 in the ones place value. So let's go to our threes column until we find 73. Now we're going to subtract 20. 20 is the same as 2 groups of tens. So we'll move up 2 times. 73 minus 20 is 2 jumps up. 1, 2. Where did you land? You should have landed on 53. Let's do another one together. 95 minus 60 is equal to, 95 has a 5 in the ones place value. So let's go to our fives column and scoot down until we find 95. Here's 95. Now we're going to subtract 60. 60 is the same as how many groups of 10? 6 groups of 10. So we're going to jump 6 times, moving in a vertical direction towards the lesser numbers. Okay, here we go. Start on 95, counting 6 times. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where did you land? You should have landed on 35. 95 minus 60 equals 35. Number 4, 88 minus 50 equals, 88 ends with an 8 in the ones place value. So we go to our 8's column until we find 88. And here it is. Now we're going to subtract 50. How many groups of 10 is 50? 5. 5 groups of 10. That means we're going to jump 5 times towards lesser numbers because we were subtracting. Okay, let's start on 88 and subtract 5 groups of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where did you land? You should have landed on 38. Five. 31 minus 10 is equal to, 31 ends with a 1 in the ones place value. Let's go to our ones column and find 31. It's right here. Now we're going to subtract 10. How many groups of 10 is 10? It's just 1. So we're going to jump 1 time to subtract a group of 10. Start at 31, moving towards lesser numbers, subtracting 1 group of 10. 1. Where did you land? 21. And number 6. 69 minus 40 equals, well, 69 ends with a 9 in the ones place value, so we go to our 9's column. We find 69. And we're going to subtract 40. How many groups of 10 is 40? It's 4 groups of 10. That means we're going to jump 4 times towards lesser numbers because we are subtracting. Okay, here we go. Starting here, jumping 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where did you land? You should have landed on 29. When you're ready with this page, go ahead and turn to the next side. So you have another hundreds chart here on the back of this page, so you do not have to turn back to the front in order to complete these problems. We'll do the sample together, plus maybe 1 or 2 more to help you to make sure you feel comfortable with how to do this. Okay, let's take a look. It says, use the 100 chart to subtract, count back by tens. Here we have 67 minus 50. 67 ends with a 7, so we go to the 7's column and look for 67. There it is. Then we subtract 50. 50 is the same as 5 groups of 10s. So we're going to jump 5 times towards lesser numbers. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where did you land? 17. Okay, let's go ahead and do numbers 1 and 2 together. Number 1 says 87 minus 20. 87 ends with, so what column do we look for it? In the 7's column. So let's go to 87. Let's see, here's our 7's column. 87. Now we're subtracting 20. How many groups of 10 is 20? 2 groups of 10. That means we're going to jump 2 times. Start at 87 towards lesser numbers 2 times. 1, 2. Where did you land? 67. 87 minus 20 equals 67. Okay, let's look at number 2. 65 minus 40 equals, looking at 65, it ends with, so what column should we look at to find 65? The 5's column, right? 65 has a 5 in the 1's column. So let's look for that 5, great, and find 65. How many groups of 10 is 40? 40 is 4 groups of 10. So we're going to jump 4 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where did you land? 25. I'll go ahead and let you continue these problems all the way through 12 on your own. And then down below, because these ones are very different, I want to explain it to you just for a moment. Notice these problems up here, they had 2-digit numbers, right? 1, 2 numbers that were in the tens place value and the ones place value, subtracted by another 2-digit number, a number that has a tens place value and a ones place value. Down below, these are different. It's a 2-digit number, but they're only subtracting a 1-digit number. I would say a strategy that you could use here would simply be to use your fingers to help you out. If you try and use your hundreds chart, you're not going to use this same strategy that we've completed up here. So you might end up getting a little bit confused. So let's take a look at it by just using our fingers to help us out. So for example, 52 minus 5. So you might be thinking, okay, 52 is a large number. I don't have that many fingers. So, okay, let's look at the smaller or lesser number, 5. Yeah, 5 you have. So let's start on 52 in our head and hold up 5 fingers. Then what we're going to do from 52, we're going to count down, or counting back lesser numbers 5 times. Okay, 52 in your head, 5 fingers. Here we go. 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 40, 47. Let's do one more as an example together. 96 minus 7. Okay, so 96 is the greater number. We'll put that in our head. 7 will hold up 7 fingers, and we're going to count towards lesser numbers, counting back. So we go 96, 95, 94, 93, 92, 91, 90, 80, 89. If you're not comfortable using your fingers for this, you can use your hundreds chart. It's important to know though, for the problems up here, you're traveling up towards lesser numbers because you're counting groups of tens. But because these ones are counting ones, you're actually counting to the left. You're going to be counting down. For example, I'll show you here. I'll erase the mark from before, a different math problem. But you can still use your hundreds chart. You just have to change what direction you're traveling because we're only subtracting ones. So for example, 52 ends with 2. We go to the 2 column. Here's 52. And then subtracting 5, we count back, traveling to the left, 1. But then we actually have to go all the way back over here to the next row. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we are at 47. So yes, it's the same answer, but the different strategy here is that you're traveling on the hundreds chart, traveling to the left, but then sometimes you have to loop all the way around to get to the next higher row. If that's tricky, no problem. Just try and use your fingers to help you out.